This episode of Hold My Popcorn is brought to you by Ballsy, men's grooming products for your man parts, like your dick and balls. That's right, ladies, this product is only for the boys, no girls allowed. And right now, our listeners will receive 15% off their first order by entering the promo code POPCORN15 at checkout. So do yourself a favor and go to ballwash.com today and upgrade your balls game to keep you fresh, comfortable, and confident above and below the belt with products like their Good Head shampoo and conditioner, as well as their Give a Sack charity ball wash, where 25% of the profits support men's health like ball cancer. Logan, I'm talking about ball wash. Okay. Also, if you're on the go-go but your balls smell like no-no, why not buy their sack spray, which delivers a refreshing and pH-balanced blast to the nuts, as well as the Quickly's ball and body wipes, which are cooling, refreshing, textured wipes to remove sweat, smell, and God knows whatever else is in your taint. All these products are real, and they are fantastic, and you can buy them right now by going to ballwash.com. So enter the promo code POPCORN15 at checkout. Ball Wash. And now on to Space Jam.
Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. All right.
Hey, and welcome to Hold My Popcorn. I'm Max Ely in Nashville, and with us in Charlestown is Tim Begin. How are you, Timmy boy?
I'm good, Max. I'm
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
That's all I have.
Wonderful. And over in Sacktown, California, we got John Anoshak. How are you, buddy?
Sweaty. How are you?
Sweaty again, huh? Okay.
I was
All right.
sticky last time, Max. Don't fuck that up.
Oh, excuse me. Okay. A little sleepy, but
Yeah, just a little bit.
I'll overcome it. Just how Jordan was able to overcome that massive halftime deficit against the Monstars.
Yeah, I like how the scoreboard went. It's kind of one-sided, isn't it? And then it was only 66-20. I mean, that's not like that lopsided,
Also, 66 points at halftime is not a whole lot for
It's really
how
not.
much they were dominating that game.
Right.
We'll get into it, though.
So every time we get into sports, I'm going to ask very basic questions to piss you both off as much as possible to move on.
Sounds
That's
good.
gonna be my strategy.
Okay.
But I don't
Yeah,
think it's going to work because you'll just be
I
like,
think
"Oh, well,
the
John,
good
this
thing
how
is
it
that you're
works."
going to be closer to me soon, so I will exact my revenge on you.
Oh yeah, we just got an apartment too, so I'll be asking you about the difference between a power bottom and a power front.
Well, I'm going to show you that if you ask too many sports questions.
Oh, okay.
John, we're going to be in San Francisco together in 2 weeks. You can just find out then.
Fuck, you're visiting? Shit.
All right, well, with the NBA playoffs currently ongoing, as well as the upcoming LeBron James movie on the horizon, we thought it would be appropriate to close out our space month with 1996's Space Jam, starring Michael Jordan. So, Timmy, I know this is a movie you grew up with, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
How many times do you think you've seen this in your lifetime?
50 times
Yeah,
at
same.
least. Got to be, right?
Yeah, I saw this in theaters, and then this was on just the regular rotation in the VHS when I was growing up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you rented this movie, which you did, when you were a kid, you probably rented this movie once a year.
Yeah.
You watched it, in that 5-day rental window, you watched it like once a day.
Yep, at least.
At least.
And I remember all the merchandising, too, from the Warner Brothers store, the South Shore Plaza back in the day in Boston.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there was just Space Jam shit everywhere. Like, I mean, I had that little shitty handheld Space Jam game that's just like, they just paint the actual characters into the game and it's just little dots. It's like a graphing calculator. Had that. I think I had a wallet, Space Jam wallet, I think, at one point.
Well, to this point, I'm pretty sure they made over $1 billion.
With merchandising?
On merchandising alone. Like, not even counting the movie. Like, the movie didn't even exist. It was all about the fucking toys. Hell yeah, McDonald's.
I'm sure the executives were like, put Michael Jordan and Looney Tunes on the screen. We don't give a shit if there's a plot, a story, anything. If Michael Jordan is playing basketball and Bugs Bunny does What's Up, Doc, we make more money than God on merchandising and like just sales of everything.
That's how they made this movie. It was just based off a commercial. They're like, let's just do a bigger commercial.
Yeah.
And let's just have the director from the commercials make the movie. Fuck it. There's no way we're not going to lose money. Come on.
This was Warner having a literal bet like with the papacy at the time where it's like, hey, if we make more money than you in a year, we get to slap you in the face. And the Pope was like, I'll take that deal.
The Pope was like, yeah, there's no way you're going to make more money. We have like just collection things going around, every 5 minutes, on every corner of the globe. And we stole all the Jew gold during World War II.
And we got boys on tap.
Right. And then Warner Brothers was like, we have Michael Jordan. And the Pope was like, fuck.
Yeah. Didn't let that out. Fucked. And I mean, shit, it was probably Michael who smacked Pope John Paul or whatever the fuck number you want to throw in there. And that's why he's dead.
Also going back to the movie, probably one of the greatest movie soundtracks of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal.
This is all from the Jock Jams albums, right? Like all 5 of them. I mean, the original one and then like the 4 that came after that.
A lot of Jock Jams in this, for sure.
Dude, I danced in my underwear with my just like little like elementary school tummy so often in Windows.
I was dancing while I was cooking dinner, dude. I had the theme song on and I was doing this.
Dude, I still regularly listen to the Space Jam song when I work out. It gets me pumped. It is such a hype song. It's fucking
Welcome
great.
To the jam.
Jam. Also, for MJ, for a guy who's like, never been in a movie, not bad as far as acting goes. I mean, the guy was an untrained actor in a green screen for the majority of this movie, and he's doing okay.
I feel like that just makes it easier for him. You don't have to actually interact with human beings. You just get to talk to yourself, which is what you love doing, Michael.
No, that's probably a good point, John. But also, like, I was at every point, I was expecting him to be awful.
Yeah,
and he was just okay, which was to me was like that's the best you can expect out of Michael Jordan.
Yes,
yeah,
is just okay.
And there clearly were no scenes where like someone had to hold a gun to his head to do a line. So that was good. He did seem like he wanted to do this for the most part, besides it being a pure business decision and genius at that.
And in fairness, there were maybe 10 scenes in the entire movie where he had like more than 2 lines.
True.
There was a lot of just like Looney Tunes, which made it great. That's why I loved it. The Looney Tunes are fucking hilarious.
Looney Tunes have not been back to this level of just prominence ever since. This was their pinnacle. Yeah. It's the it's the 1940s through the 70s, and then there's been nothing since then.
Yeah. Fucking swan song. Yeah.
And we'll see though. The new Space Jam comes out in July. So, all right, should we get into it?
Yeah.
Okay. So this wholesome family film opens up with the wonderful song "I Believe I Can Fly," sung by the pedophile and sex trafficking sensation R. Kelly. As we see a young Michael Jordan shooting hoops in the middle of the night with his dad, talking about all the great things he's going to do one day. And just on brand, his dad jokes about him flying, so of course, little MJ, being the competitive psychopath that he is, takes his comment personally and soars to the hoop as a film cuts into a 3-minute Jock Jam highlight reel of MJ dunking and dominating everyone around him.
I love this wholesome version of MJ's like childhood, because he was... from all accounts, like his dad wasn't like the Tito Jackson of basketball, but his dad was pretty hard on him. And this whole like, yeah, come on, son, head tussle, like that was not the case.
No, he was forced to be playing basketball at 2:00 in the morning.
Right.
His dad came out, was like, I didn't hear you dribbling. Sorry, Daddy. Shoot the ball, motherfucker. Like, oh, I'm sorry.
So his father was a baseball player or a basketball player?
Baseball player.
Was a baseball player.
His dad was a baseball player, but his dad was just kind of like very, he was
Tiger
like,
Woods' dad.
Yeah, you need to do whatever you do perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's the same thing. You go with Tiger and the whole kind of a deal.
Yeah. Yeah, except for the fact that he didn't like. Tiger's dad was just like, well, you're a golfer. The millisecond he came out, I think MJ's dad was just like, whatever you do, you're going to do it perfectly or else I'm going to fucking beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Show you the real meaning of jock jam.
Right. You're going to win.
I was pretty sure MJ wouldn't have been cut from his varsity team as a sophomore if he was able to dunk at 10 years old, but that's okay.
Right.
That was the deleted scene of little Michael Jordan just eating shit. He tried to dunk that.
Getting 12
and then
inches
his
off the
father
ground.
beating the shit out of him. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're not getting back in the house until you dunk that ball. But I'm 4'3".
You don't get dinner until you dunk that ball. Michael Jordan didn't eat for 5 more years.
His competitive rage is what fed him.
Oh my God. Could you imagine if Morgan Freeman narrated this movie?
Oh my God.
Fuck, did he?
No.
They did know this. Like a couple of years ago, they did a script read of this. And Blake, what's his name?
Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin did the voice of MJ, and I'm pretty sure Morgan Freeman narrated the script. I'm fairly certain.
The Monsters stole the soul of Charles Barkley, which formerly was owned by the Palm in Las Vegas.
All right, so then we cut to MJ announcing his first of 3 retirements from basketball. Definitely not because he was gambling and David Stern told him to take a year off. As the camera tilts up to the skies and eventually outer space as we meet the owner of Moron Mountain, Mr. Dick Slamhammer, voiced by Danny DeVito, telling his dim-witted minions to go to Earth and enslave the Looney Tunes so he can add them to his list of attractions.
So was Suckhammer actually designed to be just like the Bulls owner? Because I did find a picture of that guy. His name was like Jerry something.
Colangelo.
Yeah, looks just the fuck like him. Like drool, like
Holy shit, I
lactating
bet it
titties
is.
and the whole bit. I mean, it was rough, dude. It looked just like him, except under like a microscope looking at bacteria.
It was probably
it was just gross.
It probably wasn't Jared D'Angelo, but it was probably the GM for the Bulls, who Michael Jordan
All right.
hated.
Yeah.
All right.
Because and who also looks like that, John. He's like just this short fucking pudgy dude who looks like he's been eating kielbasa.
Yep. The
and
guy was so cocky, he thought that he could make a championship team without Jordan. It's like, no, dude.
yeah, he was just like, oh,
We don't need him.
he was just like, oh yeah, I know we've won like 8 championships in a row, but I'm just not bringing back Phil Jackson. And if Michael Jordan wants to leave, he can do that too. Like,
They then went and had the worst record in the NBA the next season.
yeah, and then he found who's that Eastern European dude who actually wasn't,
Kukoc.
yeah, Tony Kukoc. He wasn't bad, but like not fucking Michael Jordan, dude.
No. I love that story. How they played him in the Olympics and him and Scottie Pippen beat him up like so hard that like Kukoc went back to the bench like with the Serbian team and he's like, is it just me or did they seem like really angry at me? And they're like, no, they seem pissed.
The rest of the Team USA was like, you guys are kind of being dicks.
It's like, this guy's going to be your teammate. They're like, fuck him.
Yeah. And they're literally like, yeah, Scottie Pippen was like, if I had a knife, I'd shiv him.
It's like he's not getting another shot in the basket. And I don't think he
Yeah.
did. It's
So my
unreal.
first basic question for Hold My Basketballs here is going to be: how many steps can you take before you're about to dunk and you're considered to be traveling?
3.
It all depends on the player.
That's actually the right answer, Tim.
The rule is 2 steps. But if you're LeBron James, it's 20,000.
Yep.
And if you're Shawn Bradley, like the big tall white guy in this movie, it's a half a step.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I got it. So capitalism is alive and well. All right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
Cool.
And then we cut back to, hold on, just make sure I got it. Yep, okay. So then we cut back to MJ doing what he did 114 times for the Birmingham Barons, which is striking out.
Oh, dude.
He struck out 114 times at under 500 at-bats.
So do you think that like this whole sequence with the catcher being like, can I have an autograph? And then like telling him what the
It's
pitches
totally
were. Do you
true.
think that was like real life? I
Yes.
guarantee that was real life.
I'm sure
back
that
in-
shit
Definitely.
fucking happened.
Definitely.
Well, like, it's kind of like I've heard rappers talk about how they want to be rock stars as they're super cute. It's like baseball players just want to be basketball players because they're so much sexier, like in every way. I mean, like, you know, you're on the court, you're not covered in equipment or anything of the sort. It's just you, your biceps, and just very skinny calves, just making it happen.
I mean,
It's a good observation, John.
I mean, you're playing in Birmingham, Alabama, making $20,000 a year, and then Michael Jordan's there, like who is the most famous person on the planet, probably one of the most famous human beings of all time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, you're gonna
I
be
forgot it's all
starstruck.
minor league. Yeah, it's all minor league. So yeah, they're just basically like normal dudes on the street. And here's Michael Jordan.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Michael Jordan bought them a new bus when he got there because the other bus was so shitty.
Jesus Christ. Michael Jordan could probably reach to the pitcher, and smack him on the face from the plate if he wanted to. Guy's arms are so fucking long.
I can't imagine being on the Birmingham Barons and like Michael Jordan shows up, like he's driving like fucking Ferrari. He has like fucking, Bill Gates money at that point in time. And you are like on food stamps if you're a AA player.
Especially back then. This is pre-strike.
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
94. It's right before they went on strike. And Jordan's coming off of 3 straight championships.
Dude,
Something else.
Yeah.
That's some shit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most unrealistic things. Actually, that's not true. Everything about this movie is unrealistic, but just the crowd not being completely sold out because every single game he played in the minors was like, people outside in the parking lot trying to get it, just like a glimpse of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like over capacity. It was out of control.
I remember Derek talking about in Nashville, what it was like when Jordan came to town.
Yeah, he got his bat.
Right, yeah.
He got a broken bat
crazy.
from him, which is cool.
Yep.
All right, so then we're introduced to Wayne Knight being clumsy and fat when out of nowhere, a 2D cartoon spaceship zips by the stadium, crashes through the hollow earth and straight into Looney Tune world where they put Bugs Bunny on... Jesus Christ. Where they put Bugs Bunny at gunpoint.
So right prior to gunpoint and crashing into the center of the earth and like skipping past the Nazis that had found their way into the center of the earth already, we're not going to talk about that. But I guess the real question is how much did Piggly Wiggly spend to have that fucking shot of like, oh yeah, the ship goes through the asphalt parking lot into the center of the earth to go find Looney Tunes in front of a Piggly Wiggly. Like I didn't know what a Piggly Wiggly was until I moved to the Deep South.
Yeah.
Dude, the product placement in this movie, that's a great point, John. The product placement in this movie is outrageous.
Oh my God.
That McDonald's, he was eating McDonald's later in the movie, just like no reason.
Blatant.
He's just like, there's so many McDonald's logos on that cup he's holding and just like the fries and everything. Oh my God.
Well, like at one point in the movie, we get Bugs Bunny in one sentence mention Nike, Big Mac, and Gatorade all in the same sentence.
Yep.
Like
exactly
out of Bugs Bunny's mouth. Like, yeah, it's so anyways.
Yep.
I'll step back.
I like how the ship went through that fucking Warner Brothers dental dam. Just goes to show you. Contraception doesn't work.
No.
Dude, but when this is my honest reaction. So when we get into Looney Tune land, this is exactly what I said to myself. Why don't they just make this movie? I just wish this whole movie was Looney Tunes. Like when we got into, I'm like, I was literally like transported back to like childhood Tim eating a fucking bowl of cereal on a Sunday morning with Looney Tunes playing. What's up, Doc? Like the whole thing.
It looks good.
Yeah.
So
Great.
let me ask you, Tim. You ever tried DMT?
I've never tried DMT, John.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to channel Joe Rogan right now. You should.
Okay.
Tim's like, I do lick
Bring
every
your-
single piece of moss from any rock I see on the ground.
I do. That's just to test it. Those rocks
Not DMT.
Could be harboring aliens.
Might have dysentery, but not DMT.
I love that these aliens, though, like do put up no bullshit. Like when it comes to their like, you think that Bugs gets like the one over on them where he's like, oh, you're looking for a bunny, right? Yeah. You're looking for one with long ears like this. Yeah. One that hops around like this and eats carrots and says, what's up? You're like, yeah. And he's like, nope, don't know him. Walks away. And then they just like
Shoot
blast the shit out of everything. Like just nuke it. And he's like, And so I was like, okay, that's good. That's good. A little bit of realism in here, and the aliens have guns. This isn't PG.
No, they're not dumb because, right after this, they, Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes, they have that town hall. They decide to challenge him to a game of basketball. So these, quote unquote dumb aliens then just steal all the talent from the NBA. It's like, it's a good move.
Yeah, it's a sweet move.
Why wasn't Dennis Rodman in this? Because he could have just stayed in character.
There's no way in hell that anybody would want to deal with Dennis Rodman on set.
Dennis Rodman just
absolutely not.
He just like left the Bulls.
Yeah, he was a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
He would just leave and he would leave and just go on binges during the season.
Yeah,
and just go to Vegas for like 4 days.
they were like coming down the home stretch. I think I forget when
it was 98.
98. And he was just like, "Hey man, I just need to go get fucking laid and high for a week." And Phil Jackson's like, "Fine, you can go for a week," and he didn't come back for 3.
And then Carmen Electra is like telling that story. It's like, we're in Vegas and, Dennis is passed out. There's like 4 women in the bed with him. There's just like drugs and booze everywhere. And then Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen are knocking on the door.
Yep.
She's like, MJ's here. What do I do?
Right. And Dennis Rodman was like, "I don't know, baby."
Cool. I mean, seriously, dude, when Carmen's around, emergency titty fuck, dude.
But let me just say this about the Looney Tunes. Legitimately fucking funny. Like, legitimately funny. Shit.
Yeah.
Where Bugs Bunny is like, has 2-foot high ears. He says, "What up, Doc?" You know what I mean? Bunny Rabbit. Does he hop like this? I was laughing my ass off. Like, legitimate. That's like kind of like a tamer Don Rickles bit right there. And I fucking love Don Rickles. So
yeah. So kind of going into John, what you're saying though, as far as like the talent. So I actually went and like looked up some of like the better players in the NBA because they're stealing the mojo from Charles Barkley and Patrick Ewing, which I understand. I mean, they're 2 all-time greats.
Yeah.
Also, not when you play for the fucking Knicks, they aren't.
Back then, the Knicks were going to the finals like a couple. They were
just won the championship like the year
that's
before.
fucking
They never
fake
won.
news.
No,
They've
Ewing
never
never
been
won. So they haven't. So the Knicks haven't won since the 70s.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
they went to the finals and they were in it every year against the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be beating my head against a wall this entire episode. I can say, nah, I got that right up here in the noggin. No, John, I got those stats right here.
So, okay. All right. So I can understand Larry Johnson. Looked him up. I mean, he had a double-double, like, in the mid-90s. He was pretty legit, but Shawn Bradley fucking sucked. And then
he was terrible, dude.
He was awful. And Muggsy Bogues was a bench player. Like, he was more of a freak show because he was like under 5 feet tall.
Yeah, Muggsy Bogues won 6th Man of the Year a couple times, but
I think I liked playing as him in basketball games on like the N64 back in the day, just because I could relate.
But okay, here's some better players that I have that would have been much better. So obviously Shaq, which Shaq wasn't going to do it because I think he was doing Kazam, and he was probably going to just be like, "Why am I not leading the Looney Tunes in this movie?"
Right, yeah.
Well, he's also like, "Dude, I could kick Michael's ass.
Yeah.
Like, why are we doing this?"
Hakeem, Olajuwon, Karl Malone, David Robinson, Penny Hardaway, Scottie Pippen, Gary Payton. They just skipped all those dudes. That could have worked instead of fucking Shawn Bradley.
Well,
I can't even tie his shoes.
I mean, that's the one that really kind of stuck out to me with Shawn Bradley. Why the fuck would anyone think Shawn Bradley? I mean, I get that you probably need some like, as far as a character goes, you need like a goofy tall guy. Yeah. But I mean, Jesus Christ, get like Dikembe Mutombo.
I know, Manute Bol, get him. He's like fucking 2 inches taller than Shawn Bradley.
Seriously.
Okay, so another basic question for Hold My Basketballs. When does the shot clock actually turn on, where you need to make a shot before shit just gets turned over?
The shot clock turns on when
the second
change position.
The second the team touches the ball in play.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Appreciate that, guys.
You're welcome.
I'm just playing some of the audience random today, gentlemen.
The thing about it is that Max and I aren't basketball fans.
No. And I understand that, but it doesn't matter that it's the same.
We're just sports fans in general. We have an inordinate amount of sports information, even about sports we don't like.
Yes, that's what happens living in Boston.
I'm speaking to literally 2 Rain Men right now.
Yes.
So
you want to get some more Rain Man shit? So all right. I'm sure you guys noticed the wife from Everyone Loves Raymond, right, in the crowd at the Knicks game.
Yeah, Deborah.
So did you guys notice who she was with? Her. The husband that she was with?
He's from Seinfeld, right? He's like one of the guys.
He's Homer Simpson. So
no shit.
Dan Castellaneta or something like that.
Castellaneta.
Yeah. So which is funny because the guy who does the voice for like Homer Simpson, Krusty the Clown, Groundskeeper Willie, the Grandpa Simpson, also the grandpa from Hey Arnold. He did Earthworm Jim. He's in this movie in which it's a live action, cartoon, and he's not doing a cartoon voice in the movie.
I know. He's just
so fucking weird.
That's why I thought it was like he was like one of those like kind of like semi-famous recurring characters from Seinfeld. I thought he was that, but yeah, it's so crazy to think that Dan Castellaneta is like playing himself.
The only thing I've ever seen him in is in actual person is this movie, and then Pursuit of Happiness, the Will Smith movie. That's it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I didn't
also
even
Timmy.
see that one, so
No, it's a good one.
yeah.
I'm sure Timmy, you also noticed just Danny Age just
Oh yeah.
ripping Charles Barkley apart.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Danny Ainge putting up an air ball, ripping Charles Barkley
Yes.
apart, going golfing with Michael Jordan later.
All right. So then we get the Monstar reveal, where these little 2-foot-tall idiots then turn into 12-story tall giants.
Well,
The Monstars make it in. And there's some surprisingly like Russian USSR haircuts going on in this too, which is a little bit weird. Like they're almost like military, except for like the giant stoner alien, which is my favorite. Like,
So I noticed that this time, and it's because they're mimicking the players. So Charles, so Patrick Ewing always had a flat top. He had like a high fade flat top. So that guy has one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can kind of tell who the players are.
Got it. Okay.
And that was also just a look.
Yeah, I mean, it was a look. That's true. The 90s were a time.
Yep.
They were a time and a half.
I wish they had like
looks
the
coming
players voice the characters. I wish they did that. It would have been great.
With
Not-
Charles
not to
Barkley.
Steal their voices too.
I don't actually.
Hey man,
I
that
wish
show's
they had,
terrible.
I wish I had Charles Barkley voice his character.
Yes.
I don't give a shit about anybody else. I don't care about Muggsy Bogues. What the fuck does Shawn Bradley even sound like? I mean, shoot that guy in the face. But
You a flat-footed bitch.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, Charles, no, you can't say that. It's a kid's movie.
yeah, I want Charles Barkley to not only voice it, but I want him to ad-lib the whole thing. I want him to
Just
improv
going on
the
rants.
whole thing. Yeah. I was better than Jordan. I just had a shitty team. If I had Scottie Pippen, I would have won. I would have won 18 championships.
I actually think that it's somewhat amazing that we even know what sports stars' voices sound like, just because that talking to other people has nothing to do.
Well, the
with
only
what they
reason-
do. I mean,
the
like
only
minus like
reason
some
why we
strategy
know-
and tactics.
Only reason why I know Charles Barkley is because he's on like he's a
Inside the
pundit.
NBA.
He's a basketball pundit, you know.
Yeah. He's done SNL a couple of times, too.
Yeah.
Still, one of the best SNL promos ever is when Barkley was playing, and he was doing the show with Nirvana. It's the same show where Kurt Cobain overdosed during the show and came back out and performed. But they're doing the promo in which he's like, "Hi, I'm Charles Barkley, and I'm with Nirvana. Look, Mom, it's your favorite band, Nirvana." Yeah, and then all their faces, and they just cut to each one of their faces. It is so goddamn funny. Like even like the background people are fucking laughing their asses off. Yeah,
I know. It's so
Dave
fun. And the
Grohl's
thing
face just.
Yep.
Where will you be when the acid hits?
Like
guys?
Charles Barkley gave no shits too.
No.
Like if
So
any
good.
of them came up to him, he'd be like, "Oh man, you guys are fucking terrible."
See, I think that Bill Murray should have been a basketball player because he seems to have like give like as many fucks like in public as the rest of like, well, all of these like superstars do. Just like do what I want.
Bill Murray's a
He has
superstar
that
in himself.
vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, he is. He is. I mean,
Speaking of,
he should.
we got some golf in here. So you got Michael, Bill Murray, and Larry Bird playing golf, where MJ sinks his first hole in one with the help of Bugs. And he's about to get his photo taken when all of a sudden a cartoon rope ties around MJ's arm and he's pulled into Middle Earth with the tunes.
Dude.
If
Love the
I
scene.
immediately in my head I thought Nazis, but then I realized that this was all the Looney Tunes. So
I
they're
think
in the
it's-
middle of the earth, guys. They're there. I just know these things and I can't back them up. But
Larry Bird. Okay, I love Larry Bird as a Celtics fan, as a Boston sports fan. You gotta love Larry Bird. You can make an argument Larry Bird's in the Mount Rushmore of Boston sports.
Oh, for
But-
sure.
Yeah, but zero fucking charisma. Larry Bird is the least charismatic person in the world. Anyone who thought, let's put Larry Bird in a motion picture, in a movie, it should be fucking fired immediately. You can find, like, Magic Johnson, dude. Magic
Yes.
Johnson can't even speak, but he's more
charismatic.
entertaining and more charismatic than Larry Bird. You know what I mean?
At least he can smile.
I thought you were about to be like, dude, like Magic Johnson has AIDS. Like he can't. Like,
Well, I don't know why he can't speak. I'm not a doctor, but
I think at this time he was actually having his comeback. That's probably why he couldn't do the movie if they asked him. He had
Yeah.
that minor 1 year comeback in 95,
right.
96.
But like Bill Murray, though, on brand with like the umbrella hat that latches onto his forehead and the back of his scalp, like just being the strangest guy around at any moment, just because.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this scene was funny. I thought this is like the best acted scene. Just, you think I got a shot? No. Listen, man, it's a man's game. What if I try really hard? It's because I'm white, isn't it?
Dude, I mean,
now, Larry's white.
He does say that.
Despite
Larry is clear.
Yeah. I know what I said about Bill Murray before, but there's, like I said, there's no denying Bill Murray is funny. It's just he's just hilarious. He's always funny.
And he's on his A game in this movie too. You could tell that he was trying to show off in front of MJ and Larry Bird.
Right. Yep.
Like he was actually trying.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was because he was trying to get invited to one of the pickup games. Like, because apparently Warner or whatnot had actually built that entire, like a gym and everything for him. So that way he could get ready to get back into the NBA. And yeah, Bill Murray said he would sit there and watch these games. Like everybody would come and just play pickup games of basketball.
That's in the documentary.
Yeah.
Oh, that's in the documentary.
Yeah, they show clips of it. It looks unreal.
And they said that like these guys were going harder than they would go in like game 7 of the finals. Because they're just
because it's Jordan.
Yeah, it's Jordan, and everyone's like, "This is my one shot to like show up Michael Jordan."
Yeah.
Well, that and everyone knows that Mike's already got a fucking bet put down on it. So he's like, if I win, I'll actually get a piece of the
This is
the
also
winnings
true
on this one. So.
Oh yeah,
Yes, that is also true.
I'm so surprised Michael Jordan didn't like gamble away one of his children. Like that,
He might have. He probably just bought the kid back.
Yeah.
No, Tim. He won. That's all.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
point.
all that
Tim.
happened,
He probably did win the bet. Yeah.
Just going back to it, I just also like when MJ disappears and it's just like silence. It's just like a 3-second pause of nothing, and then Bill Murray just goes, "What kind of camera is that?"
Don't point that at me.
Throws it.
Close the lens cap. Yeah, throws it.
Sure.
How much do you think Michael Jordan like disrespected Wayne Knight? Like Wayne Knight is just like fat.
Wayne Knight also was Newman and Nedry in his prime here too, though. So I mean, if
so
MJ liked
probably
Seinfeld,
looked at him.
if you liked Seinfeld, then he probably would have liked him.
He's a contemporary. Is probably what it is. He's like, oh, I mean, if you're super wealthy and famous, like, okay, fine, like we can talk. Like we're not the same line of business, clearly.
And by this point, too, Newman had a much bigger role in Seinfeld.
Yeah, I would be surprised
fair.
if Mike was a fan. I really wouldn't.
That's fair.
So they wanted Michael J. Fox or somebody else for that role. I forget who the other person was. And the studio just said no.
Why would they want to do Michael J. Fox?
They should have just
Just
put
want a
Danny
name.
DeVito in there and also have him voice the monster, like the head boss.
No, but have
Why
Danny
not?
DeVito in there, but have it be voiced by Charles Barkley.
Man, that's terrible.
Hey, Michael, can you come out of the hole now? You got a baseball game. All right, so MJ arrives at the gym, which gets a nice little spit shine, followed by the introduction of Lola Bunny.
Crossed wires.
Cross wires for a
kinds of
generation.
crossed wires. Also, like, who was able to, like, basically redesign Tara Reid in animated bunny form?
Before Tara Reid was a thing.
Oh, yeah, no, exactly. But all I could think of was literally like Tara Reid, like giving someone a blowjob in American Pie and then like spitting into a cup and then fucking Stifler drank it accidentally. Like that's all I saw the entire time. So spoiler alert, she's actually my least favorite character because I could not get that out of my head.
Yeah, man. I'm 32. She walked on screen and I was like, wow,
Yeah.
fuck that rabbit. You know? Like, honestly,
Yeah.
I'm
Good thing my
like,
pants are already off.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I might have had to go take care of something when she walked on screen.
This is halftime for Timmy.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even think it would be illegal. I don't think that rabbits are technically in the bestiality laws. So
Okay.
Dude, those booty shorts she was wearing, I mean, those are like prime time today booty shorts, you know what I mean? That like Instagram models wear.
that's actually a good point. They seemed ahead of their time. Even from like when we were in undergrad, it was all about, there was another style that I had seen around, but like these were like very much like, oh, it was like you can just see a little bit of the ass, a little bit of the ass cheek on the bottom
Ass
kind
crevice.
of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alpha move though by Lola. She shows up, just fucking just does a little crossfade on Bugs and then just dunks it and then just leaves. Just leaves the practice.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. I think it's probably the most unrealistic part of the movie because if you look at the WNBA, it's fairly obvious that attractive women aren't good at basketball because there aren't attractive women in the WNBA, guys. You can cut that out, Max.
Okay.
That's wildly offensive, but I said it for us.
Honestly, that'd probably get a bunch of listeners back because we are officially thrown into the woke bucket. So just because we aren't racist.
Because we're white and just don't promote white supremacy, that makes us woke.
Wait. Did someone else comment on?
All it takes is one, and then we're officially labeled. I've been seeing it come out ever since like January. It's all started to pop up. Like every podcast just gets labeled like woke, blah 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 blah.
So we got labeled as woke.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we did, which is hilarious.
2 podcasts ago, I said, "No, Bill, she's a woman. She can't be a senator. She's not a senator."
Stop being so woke, Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Far too woke.
Jesus fucking
Yeah,
Christ.
if that's woke, we're all in trouble.
Oh, God. Anyway. So after this, we have Bugs and Daffy head into MJ's modest house to collect his gym shorts and his Air Jordans.
Dude, this entire plan almost goes up into flames because of a fucking bulldog.
Mm-hmm. Shouldn't even be
Really?
around.
Didn't they have their own bulldog that they could have brought with them? Isn't there a bulldog in the fucking in Looney Tunes? They could have just brought their own bulldog and they could have just like walked off and fucked and just been fine, good to go.
Well, I mean, John, back to your earlier point about DMT, I think it's just lucky that Michael Jordan's kids were taking DMT because they were just like, yeah, Looney Tunes in our house. This totally makes sense.
Yeah.
They were too into it. And I mean, I don't think my creativity is quite at that level, but yeah, I mean, so let me ask you again, Tim, you tried DMT before?
No, I haven't, John.
Okay.
I think Michael Jordan's kids were just tripping balls because they were way too comfortable with just Looney Tunes in their house.
Well, like talking to the Looney Tunes and like helping them steal their dad's shit.
And not ask, yeah.
I would have a question or two.
Yeah. They also were not good actors. They were very cute, but they sucked at acting.
They're kids.
That one
kids.
line delivery always just bugs me. When like the oldest son, he's like, "Oh yeah, right." Like, that doesn't. You couldn't do another take.
Max, you missed it. They're tripping on DMT right now. Like they're tripping balls, dude.
Right.
I just wish they should have just got like real child actors, not done as kids.
Yeah,
they weren't as real kids. They were actors too. That's
Are you
the thing.
serious? They sucked.
Yeah, they
They're
did.
Terrible actors.
Yes. Also, this house is way too small for Michael Jordan. He lived on a fucking golf course when he was in Alabama.
Yeah, I like how he had like this very modest, like, you know,
suburban home,
half an acre of suburban home. It's like, yeah, fucking right, dude.
Yeah, no way.
Like farmhouse style with like wood planks for the floor that aren't even quite even, with a shitty rug just thrown out. And I mean, like, I get it. You got a couple kids, like they're going to destroy the place. Like, let them destroy something cheaper. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense. No, he would have owned an island.
I know. Yeah. Also, this movie,
he would have owned an island in the middle of Alabama. So that means he would have like he would have paid someone to channel out a channel into the ocean so that he could live on an island in the ocean in Birmingham.
Which I would actually be okay with. If we took a huge swath of Alabama and just floated that out to sea, it'd be just fine. Like, one, for Tennessee sports and just for our benefit, and two, just because fuck Alabama.
Yeah, I'm thinking we take Alabama, Connecticut, I don't know, Florida, most of Florida, just anywhere north of Fort Lauderdale, and just combine that and just send that out to sea. And then let's just put all of our trash and shit there. Like human shit, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, like actual human shit.
Yeah. But we keep the people who live in those places on that island to farm that shit.
We might accidentally create like the master race or some bullshit and then just be fucked later on. So I don't know. Just with the sheer alpha maleness of Florida with Alabama and its bullheadedness, and then Connecticut and all the guns, like we're fucked. There's just no way.
Back to Space Jam. So this movie came out 25 years ago, and I feel the animation in the scene still holds up.
So did they remaster any of this?
I don't know. It looks good.
Yeah, well, that was kind of the point. Like, so Lisa and I were watching it last night. And there were a couple things where I looked at her. I was like, "Do you think that any of this was remastered? Because some of it looks too good in a great way, but
Yeah.
it's almost like too good." I'm like, they didn't have this tech in the '90s. Like, Looney Tunes didn't look this good in the '90s. Like, how did we do this?
The Roger Rabbit movie that came out in the 80s was pretty good. So I guess this is,
that's true.
7 years
That's
later. So then around this time, the commissioner suspends the season due to several players suffering from COVID-96.
Yes, talk about fucking like their Simpsons moment and called it, where they're like, "Well, we aren't comfortable changing in the locker rooms. Like, we'll change in the hallways," and they all put gas masks on and shit. It was like, yeah, no, they fucking called COVID.
Yeah, they even
Oh,
had
shit.
Rudy Gobert in there being like,
I
I'm
know.
not afraid of it.
Let me see that microphone. Let me cough on it. COVID's funny, right? Oh, shit, I gave the whole team COVID? Oh, shit, they shut the whole season down because of me?
Damn, I'm sorry, everybody.
Doesn't help. Yeah, it doesn't help that I'm a... Never mind. Say a big fucking sweaty Frenchman, but that might be a little offensive.
Say it, Max. Get us off the woke list.
Get us off. All right, so it's time for the big game as we get some more jock jams while the Toons get their uniforms on. So the Toons and MJ get suited up. Oh, no, this is... I wrote down 2 notes at the same time. This is the real note. So the Toons and MJ get suited up for the big game, accompanied by some more super sweet jock jams, as they're introduced to the starting lineup, which features a Tasmanian devil, Lola Bunny, Donald Duck, who is greeted by literal crickets, followed by Bugs Bunny, and of course, the player coach, Michael Jordan.
I just love how little thought. I know this is a kid's movie. I know what this is. And so it's hard for me to even say this, but I love how little thought went into the plot of this. Like, Danny DeVito's character just sends these fucking morons down to like
Enslave the Toons.
enslave the Toons, and then all of a sudden we're having like a fucking basketball game to see if that's actually going to happen. Like, he didn't give a shit about like a competition before. Like, no. And now he's just all on board. Yeah, we're going to do this game. And Michael Jordan like gets pulled down into through a golf hole and a golf cup, whatever the fuck they call it. And he's just like, yeah, I'm in Looney Tune land now. I'm gonna help play basketball. I got no issues with this.
I mean, he saw an opportunity to win. He had placed bets just before getting sucked down.
That's
Someone told him this was
the real
gonna happen.
thing, John. I think he got pulled down. They're like, we have a basketball game. He's like, can I gamble on it? And they were like, yes. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't care that this doesn't make any sense. If I can gamble on it, we're good.
Well,
That's the thing. In the back of the bench, you didn't see all those comical bookies with like all the tickets sticking out of their hats, and you can't see their eyes. They were just
Right.
half the stadium was full of them.
Well, like also, and for real, like they didn't show this. It's a deleted scene, but he actually got to keep Bugs Bunny afterwards, and he just has him in a cage out back with the kids, and that was part of the bet that he put down. And that's kind of where you leave it at.
I mean, in hindsight, it is really, really, really funny that this entire movie is kind of centered around gambling.
Oh yeah, and like Michael even like ups the bet.
Yeah,
later.
at
I
the
know.
highest stake. Literally, like I am betting my liberty. I'm betting myself into slavery if I don't win.
Yeah,
Like, it's hilarious that is what this entire movie centers around.
that's hilarious. It's so true. Did you learn anything from that 1 year off, Michael?
He's like, yeah, I knew to up the stakes. Yeah.
But like this is the
There's gambling with
genius of
cartoons.
this whole thing. It's like, okay, Michael left the NBA for a couple years, and he can literally say now to this right after this movie came out, and it was like, well, what were you doing for this couple years? Oh, just being a literal superhero.
Yeah.
It's fucking genius. Like, it's absolute genius. He was able to like completely sweep all the bullshit under the rug. It's like, no, I was just being a superhero, and I was, saving Looney Tunes. What are you gonna do?
All right. So the game gets started, and the Monstars are dunking and stomping all over the Toons. So the score at halftime being the Monstars leading, kind of one-sided, isn't it? 2-18.
Yeah, that was very strange. So, like, I know nothing about sports. I know nothing about basketball. But
Usually that's not a score in a game, John.
No. Repeat the question. I'm going to go for 420, Bob.
Dude, the thing that is most funny about this scene is that Michael Jordan is like walking off the court is going, come on guys, keep your head up. We could still got a whole half to play. If that was
know.
real Michael Jordan, he would have punched Steve Kerr in the face.
Yep. He would have dragged Steve Kerr from Earth into Middle Earth and then punched him in the face.
And punched him square in the face.
You think you're better than me?
He essentially got to make a movie about his two favorite things, basketball and gambling. And no one was any of the wiser.
It's like, what did you learn, Michael? I never lose. Oh,
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. That's fine.
Not wrong.
Not wrong. That wasn't really the answer I was looking for, but okay. That's fine, Mike. God, he's such a gamer. If this was a real game, though, you would just foul the Monstars every time. Like, there's no way they're making a free throw.
Exactly.
It's impossible.
But there are no fouls in the game.
Not a single
No,
foul
this-
by Marvin the Martian in
most
this game.
Violent game. Also, I didn't realize that firearms were allowed on the court. That dynamite is allowed on the court. Flattening
Scooters.
other players into pancakes, not allowed in the court. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, this was definitely up in the air as far as what the rules are.
It's true. No flopping in this game either, which was amazing to see.
Oh, yeah.
What? What's flopping?
It's
What
like
is
Flopping
that?
is like when you...
what soccer players do. They just fake.
Yeah.
Oh,
When
God.
you
Oh, my
overact
God,
the-
I've been touched. I'm blinded. I can't hear. I can't smell.
It's-
Oh!
Just watch LeBron tomorrow. You'll know what flopping is.
Got it.
Watch-
All right. Now I know. Now
Watch
I know.
LeBron's
All right.
highlight reel. It's basically just him flopping.
Watch LeBron not make a not make a layup, and then you know what flopping is.
Yep.
He was trained by an Italian soccer coach. Yes.
Dude, I would say basketball sometimes is worse than soccer.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
It's getting there. Yeah,
That's a shame.
It's funny that the women's sports of both are like they do not flop.
No.
That could be sexist, but it's
What?
totally true. The women
What?
play
For
harder and
fuck's
more
sake.
aggressive than the men.
Dear fuck, they do. We all know they're tougher than we are. We just went through the whole thing of that. Like, if men had to give birth, like the species would be gone hundreds of years ago.
Yes.
Like,
Blah,
no,
blah,
there's just
blah.
no surprise.
Be a bunch of Elmer Fuds roaming the earth right now.
I'm so sick
Tim
of
says,
women.
"Kiss my dick."
Oh, I'm so sick of women. Being like, whoa, we give birth. Blah, 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 blah. Ah, fuck you. Again, okay.
How about a thank you?
What's that?
Said, how about a thank you for the best
Yeah.
25 seconds of your life? That's what I thought.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't remember when he got... okay, all right.
I'm going to say something. This might be a little... This is like the argument. This isn't exactly like it. Never mind. Let's
Okay.
let's
Good.
move on before I say
Okay.
it.
Yeah, we're at halftime. So MJ and the Toons learned that the Monstars got their talent after Wayne Knight gets caught spying on them in the locker room.
Which is probably, Wayne Knight probably, when at the height of his fame, he probably was spying on like the Knicks girls in the locker room in New York.
I would have loved to have seen them like reenact a scene from Jurassic Park when they open up the locker and it just starts shaking and he starts doing that like Dilophosaurus scream when he's getting eaten alive. Would have been so good. So Bugs, he gives the team some placebo secret stuff water, which gets them all jacked up as they begin their epic comeback.
It wasn't placebo. That was just meth in that water.
No, that was just straight, just juice.
Yes,
I
the
mean,
clear.
that was, yeah.
That's what
Don't-
Barry Bonds and A-Rod were taking.
Basically, I mean, you watch like all of their fucking heads just got balls real small.
Dude, Barry Bonds' head, no joke, doubled in size.
Yeah.
Which is
He went
insane.
from like a
because-
size 7 to like a 9 hat.
Yeah. Which is insane because your skull can't grow. Like,
No.
your skull can't grow.
Barry Bonds
No.
looked like Bugs Bunny after taking that water.
Yep.
Like at the last part of Bugs Bunny one, like the muscles start popping out of the muscles. So when Bugs steals the ball on that scooter, the score is 66-18, and then they score like 46 unanswered points to make it, or at least like they go on a 48-2 run after that.
I know. I was thinking about that score, and I'm like, it didn't seem like it was that. It didn't seem like they were that. They weren't outperforming them that by that much.
Mm-mm. Not a single rebound in this game either. Yeah, so Twitty Bird mauls the shit out of the Monstars while Elmer Fudd does his best MJ tongue-out dunk, which makes the game 68-66 with 4.5 minutes left when Swackhammer calls timeout.
Did we go past the Michael Jordan really, really, really poorly like doing a laugh act? Like
Yes.
where he
That was
did
weird.
we go past
Yeah,
that
that was a bad
was terrible. That
Yeah.
was
Paint the
only-
picture for me. I don't recall
There was
this.
some like Looney Tunes antics
just
going
doing
on,
shit.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Okay.
like, you know, Wile E. Coyote like blew somebody up, and then Michael Jordan just like, you could tell they were like, you got to act like you're laughing, and so that we can get
Not
some
good.
like B-roll, and it was terrible. It was the worst. I mean, he wasn't that bad in this movie, but it was awful. Legitimately.
Also, MJ
terrible.
doesn't smile, so it's kind of weird to see that.
Yeah.
Like he's not
Right.
a smiler.
No.
So that alone, it looked forced.
Yep.
He's like just like right before they did it, they just took like the spray bottle and just like soaked him too. So he's like just dripping sweat and making this really weird smile. He looks
Yeah.
really weird. It's a weird like
He
close
looks-
in shot of his face.
He looks more like he's taking a dump that he has to wrestle with more than anything.
Not enough fiber.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so MJ, as mentioned before, he then raises the stakes because he's a degenerate gambler, where the Monstars will have to give back their NBA talent if they lose, and Swackhammer will get MJ as his new attraction if he wins.
Gets dunked on for the rest of his days.
This is the
Terrible.
problematic part, too, that cartoon.
Yeah, that cartoon, and
not
we can
good.
just go over that. Yeah, there's a ball and chain involved, and it was kind of weird. Yeah,
Yep, not good. Moving on.
yeah.
So-
And we're not talking about Mawich.
Mm-mm. So MJ, calls a timeout because the entire team's in bandages and they're on the brink of death. So he has no choice but to bring in Wayne Knight. He just gets pig-piled by the entire team, but still scores.
Still scores. Also, I love that where they do the quick pan on the bench, which is like all the cartoons just dying, and like you see the one that's the big rooster or whatever,
Vulture,
and he's just
yeah.
a cooked chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, his line.
on an IV
That's
drip
good.
and shit.
Suffering succotash. His line where he goes, "Did you order the chicken original or extra crispy?"
Yeah.
Hilarious. Fucking hilarious.
That's so good, dude. Oh, that's so good. Sorry.
Oh, no, that was good. That was good. All right. And then they carry Wayne out. Jesus. Then they carry Knight out on a stretcher after he farts around the entire arena. Also funny that Pepe Le Pew even thinks it's disgusting. And then, so they're going to have to forfeit due to not having 5 players on the court. When out of the shadows, Bill Murray arrives to save the day.
Fucking
I love
Bill
the
Murray.
line where they're like, "How'd you
Mother-
even get here?" He's like, "I know the producers."
Which is true. So that's
Yeah,
a true
very
that's a true
self-aware.
thing because Ivan Reitman was the producer
Reitman,
on this
yeah.
movie. Reitman, and he did Stripes and Ghostbusters.
Yep.
So I had seen a brief thing that he was definitely in the script originally for the golf piece, but there was something like he had to be convinced to do this other scene, and that they wrote him in last second, and it was part due to Michael actually being like, "Dude, you got to do it," and the other part, they somehow got him very interested in how they were using the green screen. Since when he was really upset or something like that about Ghostbusters, where he was like, we had to look at dots on the walls and shit to like be able to interact with these animated characters. He's like, "How are you guys doing it?" And they explained it to him, and he was like, "Tell me more." And then he got into this latter scene.
It's a lot of convincing on
Weird
his
as fuck.
answering machine.
Oh my god, I know. The one urban myth that's actually real. Yeah.
You can tell that this was a last minute write-in because that whole like, "Oh, I have to go ice my knees" thing, that was him basically like saying, "No, I don't really want to go for one more beer. I gotta leave." You
I'm
know what I
out.
mean? That probably wasn't even in the script where they're like, the script probably was like, "And then Bill Murray and Michael Jordan celebrate," and the movie continues for 20 more minutes, and Bill Murray's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I gotta go ice my knees."
I told you guys I got an hour to do these scenes.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
And veto.
I also love that Bill Murray, he shows up and immediately tries to take control of the game, not realizing that they don't have the ball and they're on defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't
no,
play
no, no, no,
defense.
no,
I don't
no.
play
I don't do
defense.
defense. No.
Okay, listen to Michael. Yeah, so 10 seconds left. Daffy tackles the ball away from the orange guy, which Murray steals, and he dishes it at MJ, then takes it off, or then takes the ball from half court with like 5 seconds left on the clock. But the Monstars start to bring Air Jordan back to earth. So MJ, remembering that he's in Toon Land, stretches. Jesus Christ, I didn't reread any of these notes. So MJ, remembering that he's in Toon Land, Stretch Armstrongs it all the way into the hoop as time expires and the Toons win.
Dude, the fucking arm of destiny, dude. Just like seriously stretching that shit out. It must have been a solid 60 feet. Intense.
Half a court, yeah.
I also love how he gives Bugs Bunny shit, where Bugs Bunny's like, oh, it's Looney Tunes world. Like, you can do whatever you want, man. Like, you don't have to, because he like looks at the other guy who got smashed into a pancake, Newman, and he's like, how did that happen? He's like, it's Looney Tunes. You can do whatever you want. He's like, oh, thanks for telling me in the last 10 seconds of the game.
Yeah, right. Also, like,
That's probably the most realistic quote we actually got the entire time from Michael.
yeah. I also like that MJ is in 25 feet in midair, and then Bill Murray goes, Michael, I'm open. Never mind.
That was definitely improv too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loved it. Yep. So after the game, the Monstars launch Swackhammer into space, and they give back their talent while Bugs and Lola fuck in front of the entire stadium.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I would have been real.
So many
That
bunnies.
got me real heated up. This would be like a cult movie for the furry community if that was the case.
Yes.
Straight up. I tried warning somebody about furries the other day, and they didn't quite understand what I was talking
Dude,
about.
one of the kids in my first I had a suite my freshman year in college, so we had 6 kids in it. He was a fucking furry.
I remember
Oh
that.
shit! Told us that night, he's, yeah, I'm a furry, and we're like, what the fuck is a furry?
That's
He's
how
like,
I learned what a furry was.
Hey,
through
at least he was out front about it.
Yeah.
From your
Did he
roommate.
show you his tail?
Dude, I don't know this kid. He never showed us his costume, but he would always go to these furry conventions, and he'd come back real happy.
Yeah, I mean, you get laid. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just it's a demographic.
It's like I fucked 25 people this weekend. It was great.
Yeah, dude, he told us, he was like, yeah, we're at this hotel in Connecticut. There's this furry convention at this hotel in Connecticut. And so we were all just running around. He was like, he literally would say this shit. He's like, we were running through the halls in our costumes. We were frolicking in the courtyard. And all I could think is could you imagine being a worker at this hotel? That would just be hell.
Yep. You just see the security guy, and he hasn't drank in 25 years. He just gets his doers and just starts pouring it into his coffee cup.
It's
Stone-faced.
squirrels and rabbits fucking doggy style out in the courtyard in the middle of the hotel.
dude, it's illegal shit, dude. Squirrel burr porn is very illegal. Very. So no, we're dealing with felony federal level charges when it comes to this. But
God damn, how's there cum at the top of this tree?
and I mean, think about trying to clean that out of the fur, dude. You ever spilled peanut butter on a shag carpet?
Dude,
It's rough.
they have to have special furry dry cleaners. You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's
God
just
damn.
a lot of cream cheese icing.
Ugh. Talking furries. All right, let's wrap up this movie. So, to end it, you got MJ. He arrives at his baseball game on a spaceship and promptly goes 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts and 2 errors. And then, then he gives the NBA players their talent back and makes his triumphant return to the NBA. Well, Bill Murray watches the game in tears for what could have been, and then the movie ends.
Fantastic movie.
And that's that.
Just a fantastic movie. I mean,
Let's go, Bulls!
Here, I'm going to take a piss real quick. I'm sorry.
All right.
It just has to
Yeah,
happen.
Max
You
and I are
can
going to talk
continue,
about
Tim.
more furries. So, Max, if you were a furry, what kind of furry would you be?
Bald eagle.
You'd be a bald eagle. Does that
Yeah.
qualify as a furry? Isn't that a more of a feathery?
I really don't know what the classifications of furries are.
Well, I think that would classify as a furry. I think I would be a cat.
Cat, huh?
Because I think a cat would dominate every interaction.
Well, then you can get those Michelle Pfeiffer just razor claws and just
Oh, yeah.
surprise people.
I would cut
Just
people.
gash them.
I would cut people for sure.
Okay, box office game. How much did this movie cost and how much did it make?
Honestly, I feel like it costs something ridiculously low. It probably cost $5 million to make, and it probably made them $90 billion.
So I'm going with 50 million to make and then 200 billion.
200 billion, huh?
Yeah.
All right. You were about a couple of zeros off there. But okay, so it cost 80 million and it made
shit.
250.
I can't believe it cost $80 million.
Wow.
Well, they probably had to pay MJ 20.
That's a good
Just
point.
alone.
Yeah, that's true. He
It's
was the entire
MJ
budget.
got a pay, and he took a pay cut to do this movie.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it was number one opening weekend. It made $27 million the weekend of November 15th of 96.
Holy
For the whole
shit.
week, first week, it made 32 million, made 21 million the next week.
Fucking hell.
Big movie. Big movie.
Isn't it
Jesus.
funny that
Ooh.
there is one genre, there's like this genre of art that not only produces like No Country for Old Men and Space Jam. It's like it produces something.
Dude, well, you said that, Tim, and I'm looking at what the number 2 movie was that week, that, Space Jam beat, and it was Ransom, which this distributor was the Walt Disney Studio.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
I didn't know that. I think it was
Holy
Touchstone. But yeah.
Wow.
So there you go. Disney stuff, then you got Mel Gibson with child kidnapping.
Jesus.
Disney.
Disney loves to hide that shit because they're dark and they just don't like to talk about it.
Yep. I mean, that Dread movie was a Disney movie.
Yeah, well, the first dark movie they did was called Black Hole. It was made in like the 60s or 70s, I think. Worth your while. But yeah, no, there's homicidal robots that like put drills through people's chests and shit. Like, it's insane. Yeah,
Jesus Christ. I'll have to do that
Yeah.
one.
it's great.
Oh, I should have done that for Space Month. Oh, well.
I didn't think it would fly. But also another movie that made me throw up all night long.
I got no trivia because I finished watching this movie about 15 minutes before we started recording because I forgot that we were recording today. So
Trivia: this movie made $200 billion.
Trivia. Michael Jordan is a fucking badass. He's the man.
trivia, this is a true story. This actually all happened.
Yep. The Looney Tunes are real. They live in the center of the earth.
Yep.
And Michael Jordan saved them all. I
Yep.
mean, like, think about the stakes, though. Like, Michael Jordan was literally battling for the childhood of an entire generation.
And he
Yeah.
won and made
And he
plenty of
won.
money doing it.
But
Doubled down.
yeah, if he could have doubled down on the bet and kind of like bet against himself, he probably would have done it.
Which he basically did because he's like, okay, you want the tunes to be your slave? I'm doubling down. I'll be your slave. It's like, no, Michael, no.
God, you're worth way more to the world than the Looney Tunes are. Come
Well,
on.
even the Monstars are like, that's a good deal, coach. Like, we should do that.
Michael Jordan knows he just would have done double enough.
Also, like, that was actually the weird plot point that I didn't quite understand is that they were like, the boss, Suckhammer or whatever, and all the aliens are like, oh no, that's the way to go. That's considering that all of the alien kids know who Michael Jordan is. And these guys didn't know who Michael Jordan was until they came to Earth.
There's a lot of things that didn't make sense in this movie.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yes.
that's why I
children's
had
movie,
trouble
sorry.
pointing them out.
Yes, it kind of made it a difficult movie to make fun of.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
this plot holes in this, but I mean, it's fucking Space Jam.
Usually I have a lot more things to say about these, and I was just like, well, this is going to be a much shorter notes than I usually have.
Yep.
Just like, all right, I guess I'll have to just fill this in with what else is going on here, but okay, let's get into our next question. So who is your favorite and least favorite in this?
I'll go first. And my favorite was Suckhammer. I haven't seen a good capitalist in a long time, and it's exactly what we should be worried about. So I'm really surprised that Trump didn't make an appearance in this. I think he would have been a good cameo. But my least favorite is actually Lola Bunny. And it all comes back to just I couldn't get Tara Reid and American Pie out of my fucking head. And that's just where I was stuck the entire time. And I'm just very confused by being attracted to an animated character, which hasn't happened for a solid 15 years.
So basically, John, your least favorite was Lola Bunny because she spits and doesn't swallow.
Correct.
And
I'm going for 420 max.
I gotta be honest, a blowjob from a rabbit's probably the least. I don't want that. Those buck
Those
teeth.
teeth.
Yeah,
Yeah. She could think it's a carrot.
yeah. Ugh.
We established in a much earlier episode that I like to have a little bit of teeth, so I'm still on brand, gentlemen.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say Lola Bunny is my favorite because she did make me confused, and I like being confused.
Yeah.
And my least favorite, Shawn Bradley. Get the fuck out of my movie, you fucking lanky ginge.
Back to your farm, you goddamn freak.
Yeah.
My favorite, I guess, is going to be Bill Murray. I've always enjoyed Bill Murray in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
He does.
My least favorite is going to be Marvin the Martian for not calling one single foul the entire game as the referee.
Seriously.
I mean, the guy was neutral. He's a Martian. He's, you got aliens and Looney Tunes, and he got the Martian. So, like, he could have called at least one flag and foul during that game.
Like, also, he's got laser guns.
Yeah.
He could shoot back.
Seriously.
Yep.
I don't know why he just didn't shoot the Monstars.
That's usually what he does, right?
Yep.
Isn't his whole thing like, world domination?
Yeah, it is exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
Seriously.
he's too afraid to blow the whistle?
He had money on it. He was Tim
Afraid to blow
Donahue.
Something.
Yeah. No, Tim Donahue.
I've got high stakes on this game.
Yeah.
I didn't see any fouls.
So he literally ran across the entire court and then broke the hoop and dunked it, and then he punched somebody in the face.
It was clean to me.
If you laid a $50,000 parlay down on this game to the Russian mob, you wouldn't be calling that foul either.
I had my Martian wife and child.
All right, time for the Hold My Popcorn ratings. Prepare to be judged. What's your rating for Space Jam?
This has got to get like a 10 out of 10. Michael Jordan, probably like would hold one-on-one tournaments with all of like the key grips on this movie while they're playing, and like literally for like $5 a game.
Yep.
Yeah. I give this, I'll say 5 out of 5 Jock Jam albums that belong in the Smithsonian Museum of American History. Like,
Yeah.
like, oh my God, dude, Jock Jams alone. Like, without Jock Jams, I don't think this would have been the same movie. Like, especially for the intro, where it just gets you
Agreed.
that hype.
I'm going to give this one. They should have tested the Monstars for performance-enhancing drugs out of one limited edition Lola Bunny Space Jam spitting cup.
Huh. Is it a red Solo cup?
No, it's actually it's white. It's cheap. That's cheap white that just washes away in the
Smart.
dishwasher after like 3 washes.
Smart.
That's why it's a limited edition, because it's going to wear off very soon. But that comes forever.
Yeah, it definitely fucking is, dude. As I said, a little too much fucking, was it cream cheese icing?
Oh, God.
Dude.
No.
I love how I was able to get both of you with that one. Like that's a good description.
Because I like
did
cream
it
cheese
right.
icing. I don't want to think about cum when I'm eating it.
Yeah, not anymore.
Too
you
late.
fucking Don't.
No, well, anybody who's still listening to this shitty episode will too. Great. Here I was thinking I was going to listen to a wholesome Space Jam episode, and instead I'm thinking about cum every single time I eat cream cheese with my bagel.
And I have done my job, gentlemen. Goodbye.
Boop, boop. All right. Do we have any social media shout outs, or should we just...
There's only one, and I mean, really, it's all about Nick from Your All Own podcast. He owns all the jelly this week, and thank you for your support, Nick. But as always, follow us and like us on the Twitter lands at HM Popcorn Pod and the Instagrills at Hold My Popcorn _podcast. Email me, Tim, Max, whoever the fuck you feel like at tdbackrow@gmail.com. And then once again, Google the shit out of this Facebook page because I'm not learning it.
Yep, just Google Hold My Popcorn. It'll probably pop up in the first 5 searches.
Yeah,
Bam.
I bet you. So yeah, Google our bullshit.
Yeah.
You know?
Post onto the group. Post whatever you want. Post comments, criticism, praise, dick pics,
Well,
Vagina pics.
funny enough,
whatever you want.
I met one of the fans at the local glory hole at the Shell
nice.
recently.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were talking a
was
little bit on the
Holden?
Facebook group. Yeah, no, he wasn't into it because we aren't professional podcasters. So he wasn't too into that. But no, one of the other fans, we were talking about it, and so we met up. It was great. But for everyone listening, we are moving to BP next month.
Good. All right, well, stay tuned for a new month of episodes. We might not have one out every week of this month because I'm going to be traveling a couple of times, but we will have some episodes. So there's only one way to find out, and that's by subscribing and listening to the show.
Yeah,
I mean, I really
subscribe,
upsell
it
the
does all
shit
work.
out of the show, don't I?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. No, I mean, I
Sells
want to
itself,
subscribe to
Max.
our own show right now.
Sells itself.
Yep.
What,
All
are we,
right.
what are we talking about? Cheese and cream cheese ice cream? Yeah. We got
What
it.
am I holding in front of me? What is this, a microphone? Why do you keep on telling me to talk into this thing?
I don't know. Well, there's a guy up the street. If you sing into his tin can, he'll give you $15.
Yeah. His name's Bill.
All right.
His name is Bill.
Goodbye.
Okay, deuces.
Okay.